Hello everyone and welcome back to Genie Crafts. In today's video, we are going to see how we can create Zig Zag halftone portrait of Kim Taehyung from the famous Korean pop group BTS. In the first part of the video, we are going to see how we can create a template for such kind of portrait, and in the second part of the video, we are going to focus on the portrait itself. So let's get started. To create the template, in a Chrome browser, open the website halftonepro.com. If you already have your login, log in onto the website. Then select the photo for which you want to create the halftone portrait. I have already downloaded a freely available photograph from the internet. Once the photograph is loaded, click on it and the website will show the default rendering for the photograph. You have to ignore that. Then to convert it into the line based halftone pattern, go on to the preset section which you can see on the left hand most panel at the bottom. Click on it and from there click on the first option, line pattern, which will convert your photograph into halftone line pattern. Then go into the pattern section on the left panel, and now we are going to simplify this pattern a little bit. For that, in the vertical element section, reduce the number a little bit so that your template becomes slightly easier for cutting. If you are experienced cutter, then you can work with a complex template, but if you are new to this kind of paper cutting, then you can work with a simpler template, and this allows you to simplify your pattern. Once you are happy with the complexity of the pattern, click on the download and download a PNG image, which is the only option available with the free account. To create the zigzag pattern, you need the exact opposite of this line direction. So this is at 60 degree. So in the rotation section, select an angle of -60, and this will reverse the direction of the lines. And once you have that, then you download the same image in a reverse direction with all the other settings remaining the same. So now we are going to use these two images to create our zigzag line pattern in Microsoft PowerPoint. Next step in creating the template is to open Microsoft PowerPoint or any other presentation software. The first thing that you need to do on the slide is to create a grid. So go to the insert menu and from there select a rectangle and create a rectangle that covers the entire slide. Fill it with black. Next, select the same rectangle, press Ctrl C, Ctrl V to create a copy of the rectangle and color it with some other color so that you can identify the difference between the two. Keeping Ctrl key pressed, reduce the size of the rectangle. Keeping the Ctrl key pressed actually allows you to reduce it uniformly with all directions, and you can actually see that how the shape of the rectangle is going to look like. So utilize that facility. After reducing the size, under the shape format, go to align section and center the rectangle vertically and horizontally to create a black border around this rectangle. Now fill this rectangle with black, select both the rectangles, and in the shape format, in the merge option, select combine, which will create a clear portion at the center where you are going to create your grid and place the two images that we have created in Halftone Pro website. Next, insert a vertical line under the shapes in insert menu, and then go to the shape format and color it black, and also increase the width of the lines slightly to create a proper visible grid. Next, copy paste this vertical line to divide your visible area on the slide into segments, and the number of segments will depend upon how many segments you want in your portrait. In my case, it was 4 segments, so I divided the visible area of the rectangle on the slides into 4 equal parts. Now to create the template, go to the folder where you have saved your 2 downloads from the Halftone Pro. Pick up one of the downloads which is going in one direction, copy it, and then go back to your slide and paste it on top of your slide. Right click on your pasted image and select the option send to back. This will bring the grid on the front and will take the image at the back. Then under the shape format, go to the crop section and reduce the width of the image from the right hand side to the first grid. Next, copy the second image where the lines are going in a different direction and paste it on top of your slide. Repeat the same step, send it to back, then go under the format menu, click on the crop, and then reduce the width from the right hand side to the second grid ending. So this will create one grid, the lines are going in one direction, and in the other grid the lines are going in other direction, so that zigzag pattern is created. Now follow the same process for the other 2 grids until you get your complete zigzag pattern. After creating the pattern, if you feel that the lines are not aligned properly, then you can always shift them up and down slightly to get the lines in alignment. Also, you might be thinking, is this the best way to create the zigzag pattern? Obviously not. There are paid softwares which do it, like Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. You can create all those things, but those softwares are paid. This is a free way to get it done because Microsoft PowerPoint comes free with almost all Windows laptops nowadays. Once you are happy with your template, take a printout of it, and now we can start with the cutting of the portrait. And here is the printout of the template. I have taken the printout on a 140 GSM paper. You can go up to 200 GSM paper because these are just lines, and the entire paper becomes very fragile once you start cutting the lines. So it's good to do it on a thicker paper. Also, for doing the paper cutting, I'm going to use FISKARS paper cutting knife. So since this entire template is divided into grids, so it makes it easier than your regular halftone portrait where the entire portrait is in a single grid. The lines are very long, so your template also becomes very fragile when you cut your regular halftone portrait. But this is easier because it is divided into segments, so you can focus on one segment at a time and cut it properly. Since I have taken printout on a white paper, so I have to remove the black lines, otherwise it will look like negative image if I cut out the white portion. Also, you have to look out which color is connected throughout the portrait. In this color, the black lines are not connected through and through across the borders of the grid. So anyway, I have to cut black. So all you need to do now is to keep cutting the black lines one by one. Do it slowly, do it carefully. It becomes very easy to get cross-eyed when you are cutting halftone portrait because of the lines. But since this is zigzag patterns, so chances of you getting cross-eyed are a little less than your regular halftone portrait. Just ensure that when you are cutting, you are not jumping the grid. It should not be like that you have cut the last grid, then you have cut the first grid, and then you are cutting in the middle. Chances are that you are going to break the line somewhere because of the fragility that is created at both ends of your template. So go in a sequential direction. Also, within the grid, cut the lines in a sequence. Start from one corner and move towards the other corner. Do not cut lines in between. Once again, if you do that, chances are that you are going to break your line, or you are going to break the grid boundary and ruin your work, what you have done so far. And here is how it looks after cutting two segments. Similarly, finish the other two segments also, so that you can get your final portrait paper cut. Once you are finished with the segments, then cut along the border to get the final frame of your portrait paper cut. And here is how our zigzag halftone portrait looks. If you want to see the real beauty of a zigzag halftone portrait, all you need to do is to put this portrait cut against a black background and then frame it up and see how beautiful it looks. I hope you guys enjoyed this simple DIY tutorial on zigzag halftone portrait pattern. If you guys liked the video, then please do not forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Also, do subscribe to my channel for regular videos on paper arts, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Till then, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.